Welcome, Pisces, your vernal equinox 3-month forecast for the ascendant, the sun, or the moon. Each year, when the sun returns to Aries, the first zodiac sign, we welcome a new astrological year. But also, we enter the first of 4 cardinal quadrants because Western tropical astrology is predicated based on the seasons. And that first season, the cardinal Aries, is very much about action and initiation. It's a fire sign and its ruler is Mars. But what does that mean for you as a water sign? Well, I'm going to share with you exactly what you can expect, Pisces, in terms of your relationships, finance, energy, and work over these next 13 weeks. I'm astrologer Patrick Arundell. A very warm welcome. If you've yet to subscribe to the channel, please do so now and help it to continue to thrive. But on the screen is your event chart. So there's the sun in Aries. And also, it's very close to your modern aquatic ruler, Neptune. For the first time, Neptune greets Aries, the sun into Aries, pardon me, for 150 years. It's that rare. But also, the more cautious, conservative Saturn is also meeting the sun too. What does that combination mean for you? Well, recently, there's been such a lot of energy in your zodiac sign, including, ironically, the ruler of the sign of Aries, Mars. That's really given you a lot of appetite to initiate or to inject into ongoing strands a great deal more vigor and determination. It's just you may have experienced actually quite a lot of frustration. And that's because Mercury has been in retrograde from the 26th of February, and over the last 3 weeks, there may have it may have felt like whatever you tried wasn't quite gaining traction. But despite that, the position of Jupiter was linking very productively, first of all with Mercury, then the Sun, and now it's linking with Mars. And Jupiter is your traditional ruler, exalted in the water sign of Cancer. So it's receiving that Mars energy in a very constructive way. So although they're in water signs, which is about instinct, being in touch with emotion, and if you like, sensitivity, because for you it's the first and fifth houses, that's much more to do with direct action, but also having the confidence to showcase your talents, flair, and charisma, the maximum amount of drive and conviction. So do keep going. Also, know, Pisces, that Mercury is going direct on the 20th of March. It's not quite there as we have the vernal equinox. It comes later in the day, but some of those frustrations can start to melt away. Mercury's not at its best in your zodiac sign. It still has qualities. It's wonderful for anything that's to do with expression, writing, painting. But what it will do now, it will start to gain a little bit more velocity if you have felt that things haven't been moving. And that link between Mars and Jupiter is really one of the most invigorating ties that you can get in astrology. They don't believe that anything can beat them. So the fact that Saturn and Neptune wait for the sun, which Aries is very much about the body. The second house ever is about values, foundations, self-worth, everyday money. So initially, if there are some concerns about converting your ideas into something tangible and functional, very second house, you may go through a few days thinking that you're not quite going to get that alchemy, but stick with it because Venus, the planet of money, may be very direct in areas where she is herself detrimented, but she's a go-getter. She's in a lovely link with the moon. Your appreciation of anything that's rather lush is going to be magnified over the next 3 months, despite Saturn being like a strict parent saying, "What are you doing eating that? Put it down." But I think you'll find a way to get what you want, particularly as Venus is in a square with Jupiter, which can make you very generous, but also could make you very inclined to connect to someone who you find to be smolderingly sultry. So that's rather nice too. But just know, seriously, Neptune, of course, can add imagination, and it can also distort at its worst. So it's important, if you are discussing finances or you're thinking about something of value, maybe something you're going to buy and sell, that you're very almost detached in the process of it, because of course Aries can bring a sense of urgency. So I wouldn't rush financial decisions, but that generosity that can be a massive part of Pisces people will show up. But you're also being asked to focus the main part of your resources on being very sensible, however dull that might be. But if you have been really not feeling that you're getting the recognition and rewards for the brilliant talents that you often have, the Sun applying to Saturn, which happens within the first week, can actually be something that can help you to really assimilate what is valuable. Because sometimes in life, we don't really know what's of value until our circumstances change. Like the biggest thing to value is health. So just be aware that something you're uncertain of, you may get a clearer understanding of the importance of it within about a week. But over this period of these 3 months, I think as long as you get that balance between your desire for things, which is Venus and the Moon in the second house, and also your desire to get a return on your talents, Saturn can actually end up being really quite useful to you. But Saturn in the second house can have quite a challenging impact on our sense of self-worth. So if you have got chinks in that area, just know that Venus is going to join up with Chiron towards the end of March, and that would be an excellent time to look at something in a different way, or get some support from someone who's a life coach, or watch a video uh, to really understand how you are a very complex sign, but you are also a combination of many different parts of all the other planetary and zodiacal influences. So you come with great wisdom, and that wisdom, Pisces, quite sincerely, is represented by Pluto in your 12th house in a amazing link to Saturn. Because of these are the two most strategic planets in astrology, Pluto definitely is asking you to check down deep within yourself, release things from the past, attitudes, holding on, angers, dark stuff maybe that hasn't really worked, because that's energetically blocking you. But that link to Saturn suggests the good things in your past, experience, knowledge, wisdom, linked to your decisions over finance, can actually be very protective for you over the next 3 months. So, Uranus, the planet of fast action, quick thoughts, and being very outspoken in the third house, is also in a sextile still with the Sun, even though elementally it's exactly come to a close. It hasn't in terms of degree. So, whatever you've been working on recently, particularly over the last few days, that may have genius threaded through it, keep believing in that, because with Saturn stabilizing energy, and Neptune's imagination, but most of all Venus's seductive charm, you can still bring more money in than goes out by the time we get to that Cancer solstice. And particularly if you stay open to different approaches, but most of all, you keep your sense of conviction. Mars in that sextile, trine, sorry, to Jupiter, fantastic. Now, as far as relationships are concerned, the part of fortune is in your seventh house in a great link to Jupiter. Jupiter's in the most romantic part of your chart. If you're someone who tends to be a little bit wary of making the first move, this chart is saying go for it. But it's also saying don't judge a person initially by what they earn or what job they do, because Neptune may actually not give you a clear picture, but equally could be a bit harsh. Better to get to know someone for their personal values, always very important. So, to summarize for you, Pisces, I think the brilliance that you often have has been active recently, but also not quite at full power, a bit like a four-cylinder car, if that's a bit politically incorrect to talk about, where one of those cylinders isn't quite firing, Mercury going direct helps that, but also a mechanic has given it a service, and that link with Mars and Jupiter is going to see you hurtling along at pace. And if you really have a clear plan that you're very invested in, it's going to bring you rewards. Keep that sense of faith. You can convert it into something, but watch out for distortion around resources and values. Know that Saturn may create some obstacles, but you have an opportunity to work with them if you use your past skills and experiences, which you can. You can be one of the wisest members of the zodiac in a very heartfelt way, but also stay open to innovation. If you've yet to watch your Pisces new moon video, please see that on screen. Your Jupiter direct video, please see that. You can sign up for your free daily horoscope, fire to your device each morning. Get that celestial pit stop and have that reflective moment. You can check it out for your ascendant, sun, moon, whoever you want. Please see below for more. If you'd like to work with me directly, please see my testimonials below. It'd be a pleasure. If you'd like to order your personal horoscopes, the life roadmap is very profound. It helps us to understand our life patterns, the forecast, when to time our moves. 50% off Astro 26 at the checkout for Natal, Draco 26 at the checkout for Draconic. If you're more interested in the more soul and karmic dimension, and to be honest, that's what Draconic astrology is about. We moved the North Node to that vernal point. How appropriate. All the best for the next 3 months, Pisces. Take care and goodbye.